Hi everyone, so it's me, Essie Magic, today, and as promised, I'm going to talk about the negatives about living in LA. What a great way to start off the new year. Not really. But I'm doing this to help you if you're one of those people who's thinking about moving to LA, or you're just curious about what's bad about it. I will warn you right off the bat that I'm just pretty much talking from my own personal experience. So before you leave comments saying, well, according to these facts, actually you're wrong. I know, I could be wrong. I've only included things in this list that I feel could affect people's decisions to move here. This is why I've excluded things like traffic, because I feel like that's not going to stop you from moving here. So in no particular order, let's go. What I'm about to say next is one of the most important things about living in LA. So listen carefully. If you live in LA, you must have a car. Pretty much, if you don't have a car, you're absolutely screwed. Okay, no, you're not screwed, but you're severely disadvantaged. I know what this is like because I didn't have a car for a while and it was really tough. If you don't have a car, your job opportunities will suffer, your social life will suffer, and your overall happiness will then suffer as well. Actually, the only exception to this is if you're a student. In that case, you'll likely live close to school, so you don't really need a car. But if you're not a student, you're gonna have a really hard time. Why? Because everything in LA is so spread out. When people say LA, they don't mean LA as in a small, cosmopolitan, bunched together city. They mean the entire LA County, meaning they could be talking about Hollywood, or all the way by the airport, which is like by Inglewood, or they could be talking about Beverly Hills or even the Valley. It's actually such common knowledge that it's important to have a car that people just automatically assume you have a car. And then you have to awkwardly be like, no, I don't have a car. So if you're moving to LA, make sure you have a car or you're getting one within months of arriving. The next thing that is really negative about LA is the fact that everything here is really expensive. And if you come from an area where things are really cheap or only cost a few bucks for something, you're gonna be in for a big surprise. Where I come from, usually a drink, like an alcoholic drink, costs about $7. Here, you're gonna pay between $12 to $20 just for a drink. And that doesn't even include tip. I quickly went from being one of those people who's always like, oh no, it's okay when people offer to buy me things, to someone who's like, oh thank you, when people offer to buy me things. No, I'm not a gold digger, but when you live in one of the most expensive states in the country, you really need to start paying attention to how you spend your money. The next thing is that this place is extremely competitive. Not only are you a small fish in a big pond, but these are shark-infested waters. Jellyfish, crabs, or whatever can bite you, they're all out to get you. Meaning, if you're searching for any sort of jobs, or you're a freelancer and you're looking for gigs, or you're an actress or an actor, you better get your A game up because you are going to be competing against the best of the best. Just to put this in perspective, one time I went to a party and the party had like about 30 people. I was the only person at the party that was not an actor. Everybody else there was an actor, and that was only in this party. Can you imagine in the whole LA how many people must be actors? And that's what you're competing against. If you're an actor, of course. But even still, every industry, any sort of entertainment thing, in production, modeling, whatever, you're competing against a lot of people. The next thing that is really bad about LA is the fact that your self-esteem can take a huge blow. And I mean things that you didn't even analyze on your body before, all of a sudden you're analyzing it. Straight up, there are some hot bodies here. People in wicked shape, constantly see people exercising, jogging, going to the gym, doing all sorts of things, hiking, which is a good thing because it'll encourage you to take good care of yourself. But it can be bad if you're someone who has self-esteem issues and is constantly comparing yourself to other people's bodies. Essentially, you're competing with people who have these fake ideas of what a human body is, because so many people have their lips done, plastic surgery, all sorts of things done, and you're competing with these type of people. I start looking at myself like, oh my gosh, I just don't look as good as these people over here. I mean, really, it's up to you if you decide to take part in that, but I'm saying your self-esteem and your confidence can really be affected if you get swallowed by this place and the superficiality of it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not acting all high and mighty here. I also like things that are glamorous, fun, and fab, and cute, and all of the above. The next thing is that this place can really bring out the worst in people. And I don't know if it's that terrible people tend to move to LA or people just become terrible as a result of the environment. It could be either one. But all I know is that people can end up being awful people. I know people who've been bullied in the workplace, people, trying to make sure they don't get a position or make sure that they don't move up or impress their boss or whatever. People standing in the way, blocking you. I knew somebody who used to be so nice and so sweet, and then all of a sudden she turned into the worst person ever. I don't even know what happened. All I can say is that LA got to her. The next thing that I would say is a bit of a worry is the fact that there is so much temptation here in LA. If you're somebody who likes to party, oh my gosh, you're in for something if you cannot control yourself. I mean, call me sheltered or whatever, but since I moved to LA, I've had people offer me certain drugs that I've never ever seen in my entire life. And I'm not talking about weed, I'm talking about hard drugs. And they're everywhere. So if you don't have a good head on your shoulders, you can end up really messed up. Thankfully, I'm very focused on my career and on taking care of myself, and that's why I say no to certain things. But other people can easily get swallowed into this dangerous world of free drinks, free alcohol, free booze everywhere. It can be very damaging if you don't be careful. The final thing on my list of negatives about LA is the fact that this place isn't always safe. I've been grabbed, I've been followed twice, I've had weirdos saying all these weird things to me. I've had moments where things happen and I just was like, I want to go home to my mommy because I mean, a few days later you just forget about it and then you're just like, okay, I love LA again. But still, it can be scary in that moment. And I'm very fortunate that nothing worse has happened to me. I know people who have been the victim of armed robberies. Not cool. So those are my top negative things about living in LA. I should probably end up by saying that of course I love LA, which is why I'm here. At the end of the day, you pretty much have to weigh your options and decide if these negatives outweigh the positives. And for me, the positives are 10 times higher. Again, I made this video because I wanted to help you guys out there who are trying to decide if you want to move to LA, or if you're just curious about the place, or if you just wanted some entertainment. At the end of the day, even though I love LA, it's important to be realistic about what this place is and what you can expect when you get here. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on my next videos, and also make sure you thumbs up if you like the video as well. And feel free to ask me any more questions in the comment section below. With that being said, keep being magic. Bye.